What's going on YouTube? Scuba Diver Picker here, and I must say today was such a fun day. I went out with the Vintage Gamers US. Link below, please check them out. Great YouTube channel, great bunch of guys. They live right here near me. John, one of the Vintage Gamers, lives about 30 minutes away in Southport, and my buddy Jeremy lives about 5 minutes away. So me, both of them, John's girlfriend, who drove us, was nice enough to drive us. I really do appreciate that. We decided, hey, they were going to go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is about an hour drive, to hit up a really nice game store in the mall there. And I said, hey, all right, I'll go with you. I've been saying I was going to go so many times and backed out for just different reasons. Last time I got sick, I didn't feel like going, and the time before that, the Redskin game was on at 1, not 4. So I stayed and watched that. So I said, hey, I'm going to go this time. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I did. I didn't find anything rare or a bunch of games, but I found 3 games that I was looking for, and something I was glad to find that's gaming related but not a game. And I'm excited to show you. So let's jump right into it. On our way, we hit up the first player's choice, which is in Charlotte, which is about 30 minutes away. We decided to go in there first. So we went in there, looked around, pretty cool store, bunch of games, comics, Magic Gathering stuff, the typical stuff you'll find in these stores. And, sorry. And so I said, you know what? We went in there, and I was kind of stoked. I found Fatal Fury for the Super Nintendo. It was like $5. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get this one, but it had a couple scratches on a label that bothered me a little bit. But then I saw this game, and it was $5.95, and it looks brand spanking new. I must say, I've got 3 games today. All 3 of them are 100% mint. Nothing wrong, no issues. The mintest games I've seen. So very happy. They really cleaned their games up, and the contacts are freaking brand new looking. But anyways, for $5.95, I got Street Fighter 2 in great shape, Turbo. Glad to get this one. I wanted the Turbo one, obviously. It's the better game, and it's the one I grew up with. But the funny thing is, like, my retro game store here in town sells this game for $15. They are a little bit overpriced here, but I'm friends with one of the guys that works there, and he does hook me up on some deals, and we work out some fair deals. But nevertheless, their price was $15. This price was $5.95. See what I'm saying? It's worth the 30-minute drive. So anyways, very happy to find this game in the shape that it is for the cheap as it was. And the funny thing was, you know how they had it stacked, and there was 2 games under it, same game, and they wanted $7.95 each. So I think they forgot to raise this one. So anyways, very happy to get this game. It's one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. Because I did get Street Fighter 4 or whatever it was on the PS3, and I just didn't like it because it didn't have the retro feel. Anyways, then we went to a pawn store that had a lot of games but no retro games. But they did have 2 black N64s and a jungle green 64. And the jungle green 64 was complete for $39.99. Really nice shape. Not a bad deal. It's quite common. The jungle green one is. It's actually just as common as the black one. But for $40 at a pawn shop, that's actually a pretty fair deal. But I did pass on it because I'm really trying to stay away from the 64 right now. Even though it's the best time to buy that stuff. I'm just trying to collect for the 2 systems. Mainly Super Nintendo, but as well as maybe a little bit for the NES, certain games. But anyways, I don't think any one of us bought anything there. So then we hopped over. It's about another 10-minute drive over from that pawn store to the Player's Choice in the mall. So we went to Player's Choice in the mall. Now I have some pictures. I don't know if they're going to show up. I don't have my editor on this computer. It's on my other computer, which is not working right now. I have to go get a new battery. But for some reason the batteries aren't working on it. Once I get that fixed, I'll start doing some editing and stuff like that. I would like to further my channel along. I'm just stuck right now using a different laptop, which I can't put that. I don't want to put the stuff on. Anyways, here's some pictures. Like when you first walk in, this is kind of like see if you can see. If I can show you, there we go. When you first walk in, you can see, I mean, just a ton of games. The whole back wall is full of games like PS2 games, PS1 games. Which I must say, look, I am so surprised at how much PS1 games have gone down. They had the Black Label Chrono Cross for $9.99 complete. They had Xenogears Black Label complete, $20. They had Symphony of the Night Castlevania Black Label complete, $22.95. The games have just dropped in value on PS1, so I'm glad I got out of that. I remember when Symphony of the Night was $100. But anyways, that's a picture, and then they had like, here's a picture of the cabinet full of like Super Nintendo games. They didn't really have any rarest ones. They had Mr. Nuts with the manual. But they had a case like that for all the games, for 64, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, whatever system, they had it. They also had a Sega Genesis 3, a box TurboGrafx, a box Intellivision, Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis 32X. I mean, everything you could think of except for a Neo Geo or, the rarer stuff, the Panasonic. They did have the Sega Genesis 3, which was quite rare, but the thing is like this big, man. I mean, literally, it's like this big. It's the size of a freaking game. But anyways, great, beautiful store. The guys that work there are awesome. If you're anywhere in the South Carolina, near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I highly recommend checking out Player's Choice. They sell their games below eBay prices. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I got there, and the first game I saw, I said, give me that game, because it's a game that I wanted for so long. It's not a really rare game or anything like that. It's an uncommon game. It goes for about $35. But I remember watching this cartoon as a kid. I remember buying some of the toys and playing the game. It's a very fun game on the Nintendo, and that is by Konami, Bucky O'Hare, and it is absolutely mint. It's one of my favorite games on any system. It's just a really fun game. A lot of great memories with this game as a kid. Very happy to have it, especially in this condition. Very happy. So glad to have that. And then he had another game. And I was like, man, I really want that game. So let me see what kind of trade-in value I can get for some stuff. So I traded in, and I traded in Zelda: Link to the Past, which had a lot of scratches on the cover. So I valued it about $20 in that shape. A Super Mario World that has some scratches on it. It's a $10 game. Another Super Mario World that was in better condition, about $10, $15 game. Paper Mario, which is about a $25, $30 game, which will probably go up, but I don't collect 64. It's only a 64 game I had. And then Romance 3, something of the Kingdom or whatever, that I will never play. And Season 5 of House. Anyways, trade that stuff in. Dude gave me $60, which if I would have sold everything on eBay, and Super Mario Brothers 3 on the NES, but there's a little bit of orange, that label on the bottom kind of turns orange sometimes. Started to do that, so I didn't want it. But anyways, he offered me $20 more than my other local retro game store did, and also their prices were cheaper, so it was a no-brainer. If I would have sold everything on eBay after fees and stuff, I would have probably got the same amount if I would have sold it. But anyways, so I traded it in. He gave me $60 trading credit. I got Bucky O'Hare, and then I got this game. One of the games that I've been trying to get for a long time, all the games, and this is one of the rare ones, and that is Mega Man 6 in mint condition on the NES. I'm so stoked to get this. I think other than Mega Man 5, this is the rarest one. I believe it's 5 is the rarest, 6 the second rarest, then 1, then 4, and 3 and 2 are the common ones. So I'm very, 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 very happy. This goes for about $35. Very happy to have this in this condition. So I still need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Mega Man X2 and X3. I had X2, I traded it. I regret that every day because basically everything that I got from that guy, which was a fair trade, but everything I got, I've gotten rid of. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, I really don't even want it. But I kind of just got caught up in the moment. But so but I'm sure I'll find X2 again. So hopefully I'll find the rest of them. I know 2 and 3 pop up all the time. I know there's a couple at my retro store right now, but they're not in great shape, and I want my games mint. But anyways, happy to get that one. And then I got something that I'm really happy to get. It's not a video game, but it's something that I like. As you know, I'm a big fan of stuff like this, the Nintendo brand ones. Now it's got some sticker residue I haven't cleaned off yet, but this is in really nice shape. It holds N64 and Nintendo. I think it holds 12 games. Right now I got some Super Nintendo games in there. But, I picked this up in Jacksonville, North Carolina, for a really good price. Really happy to get that. Actually trade in. And then I saw this one, and this is a Nintendo brand as well. And it holds Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. Look at that bad boy. And it says Nintendo right there, if you can see it. Nintendo. Now the cool thing is it holds, as you see, I got some Nintendo games right here. I got Super Nintendo. It also holds them while it has the protective cover on, or the protectors on it. So that's really cool. And what's even cooler, let me show you this. This is in fantastic shape. You see how it has the hangy tabs on the back? This one's still sealed, like it hasn't been popped up. You probably can't see it, but you know how you pop it out and you can hang some nails on the wall and then you can just hang it. It hasn't been popped out yet. So kind of like the tabs on a toy that you buy it. You collect toys and stuff. It's unpunched, I guess you can say. So, and this was only $10. So very happy to have this. It's definitely going to come in handy. I'm not going to hang it. I just kind of want to, keep it like that. I wouldn't mind getting a couple of them, stacking them. I think that would be cool. But I remember these as kids. I'm not positive, but I think I might have had one like this as a kid. I know I had the cases, the fake rattlesnake skin cases, and I had one of these for the Super Nintendo, which are pretty damn rare. They go for like at least $100. But anyways, glad to find all this stuff, guys. My Nintendo collection is very weak. I only have 5 games right now because I've been trying to focus on getting particular titles, harder to find ones, the better games, the more fun games. My goal is to collect those first. Then once I get all those, I can go drop $30 and get probably 15 games, or drop $100 and get 40 games. You know what I'm saying? Because the common ones are cheap. So right now I'm at Metroid, which I actually traded this one and Bubble Bobble away, which are mint, by the way, pretty close to mint. But I found the games today I was going to trade, which aren't in this video, but I have some more games. It's going to be in my next video. And where is it? Actually, I found it today and before I went out with the Vintage Gamers. And I have my Holy Grail Tournament Fighters, which is an extremely rare game. The only reason, I was looking it up, and it actually has the same rarity rating as Little Samson, Bonk's Adventure, all that. The only reason it's not worth as much is because, unlike those games, it was released on a Super Nintendo, so people, if they want to play it, they can get it cheaper there, so it kind of hurt the value. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Please check out the Vintage Gamers below. This is a long video for just 3 pickups, but I talk, I ramble. Sorry. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.